So we've got someone at 25K per month going to 100, 11K a month going to 50, 10K going to 50, 12K going to 30, ideally. All right. There's been 4 people do it. There's 45 people on here. There's Matt, 10, 6, 5. Couple more. I just want to get a sense because it seems like everyone's like around 5 to 20. Do we have any people on here that are doing like 50, 100, anything like that? I don't want to waste my time going deep if it's not going to benefit anyone on. Okay, there we go. 100 to 200. Okay, cool. I'm gonna fly through this then. I know all of you guys are busy, so again, I just want to say thank you for taking time out of your day to spend here with me. My goal is that you get at least $1,000 worth of value from this training. That way, you can say you made $1,000 while sitting here. So that's going to be my goal for you guys. So again, appreciate you guys taking time out of your day, and yeah, let's dive into this. So, how many of you were here last week for the Ads Masterclass 1.0? If you were here last week, put me in the chat. A couple people. Okay, cool. So, if you weren't here last week, after we do this training, you should definitely hop on my YouTube channel and check out the first one. It's really the foundation to any of the stuff we're going to go over in this video. But nonetheless, here we go. So, many of you have seen me draw this 100 times, but I felt the need to do it one more time. So, what I have noticed about online coaches specifically is that they think marketing will solve all of their problems, right? I've got at least 3 to 4 clients right now with over 1 million Instagram followers, okay? And they're still like they came to me not making any money. Why? Because they had attention, right, which is a piece of marketing. So they had, a good top funnel, but they had no middle of funnel conversion process to get people, right, from cold to warm, warm to hot, and they definitely didn't have a bottom of funnel, right? So, it's like, yeah, you've got attention, and people think attention is the only thing that matters, or maybe you've got a good funnel, right? Like you've got the 3 pieces there, top, middle, bottom, but your sales team sucks, right? Or you suck at sales, or you're doing all the setting, right? Which is something we're going to talk about today. So you haven't bought back your time yet, or you're doing all the closing, right? And you don't have a closer yet, right? Or, I mean, there's even other things on here that I didn't put, such as your profit sucks, right? Like you haven't made any money. I'll be completely honest with you. Whenever I was first starting my coaching business, there was a month we made $110,000 and profited like 10 grand. How do you even do that? Right? It's because we had a bloated team, right? Our return on ad spend sucked, and several other things. But last month, just last month alone, we profited 70K, right? Or I profited 70K in my coaching business, right? We did 225 thousand bucks. The profit could be better, but I've actually trimmed down the profit margin because I'd rather have a team and not have to work so much, right? So there's a lot of different variables, okay? Let me say this. So we did 225K last month in my coaching business, and yes, comes down to having a good mindset. Also, guys, there's more coaches now than there has ever been before. You have to have a good offer because what's happening is you have so many competitors, right? Usually that you're competing against everyone. And what you need to do is be in an ocean of where it's just you. And the way you do that actually, yes, partially is your niche, but it's by telling your story. And I know that sounds crazy. 5 years ago, I hired my first coach. I paid them simply because they were a younger dude my age. They believed in God. And at the time, I smoked cigars, and that guy was smoking cigars. And I was like, dang, this guy is exactly who I want to work with. Even though there were people who made more money than him, people that did other things better than him. But I was like, dude, I'm going to choose to work with this guy. Right. So what you need to do is be able to inject your personality and your beliefs into your offer. So a lot of people have a niche, and this is really good. Like some people are like, "Man, this is boring. I want to talk about marketing." I'm trying to help you make millions of dollars, right? So a niche is good, but what's even better than a niche, right, is stacking in your values. What does your ideal client value? If you can't answer this question, like I can already tell you, you're missing out on 20% um, more money, minimum. Just simply because you don't know that your audience values X, Y, and Z, right? So many people, right? They see that, I'm a believer and they're like, bro, I can tell you like value the Lord in your life and like trying to follow him in business. Like I love that, right? I don't do it for marketing, but I'm just telling you that that has repelled a lot of people and it's also had an insane amount of buy-in. For instance, if I told you, and I'm just making a point, that I'm only going to work with Trump supporters, I'm making a point here going forward. You see what that just did in the chat? 50% of you love that idea, and you're like, holy crap, I want to buy from Brandon now. The other 50% say, screw you, I'm logging off this webinar. I don't want to work anymore. Right? So the fastest way to become president isn't to get 51% of America to like you, it's to get 49% of America to hate you. So if you're not polarizing in your values, right? You just blend in with everyone else that's in your niche. For instance, I saw someone in here put that they want to help people lose weight with the plant-based diet. We have someone in our program doing 50 to 70K a month in that exact niche, right? What makes you different from her? Probably your marketing, sales, team system, but maybe values. Okay, I'm going to get off of that. I just wanted to make a couple points. Lastly, if you're, closing between 20%, or like 10 to 20%, like you don't really have a marketing issue. Maybe you do. You have like a sales issue, major sales issue, right? We need to get your closing rate to 30 to 50%, and it's totally possible, right? So we're going to dive into marketing, and kind of get going from here. So put some fire emojis in the chat if you guys are still hanging with me. I just wanted to kind of share some of that to preface, other areas of your business that might be wrong, because I've seen so many people spend tens and tens of thousands of dollars trying to fix a marketing problem when in reality, you're lazy. You're lazy. You don't even coach good. Why in the heck do you think you have a marketing problem if you're not a good coach? It's like marketing a funnel is going to help me make millions. No, you suck at what you do. And I'm just picking at y'all. I love all of you guys. I'm just being honest, right? Like you actually have to be a good coach for this to work. You have to have a good offer for this to work. You have to be willing to invest in yourself and build your mindset and get around other people who are winning for this to work. You have to put in the work to get good at sales or hire someone who is good at sales. You have to know how to build a team. If you don't do any of those things, marketing is not going to help you. Marketing, as we jump in, marketing is simply a magnifying glass for who you are, right? So let me explain it this way. Ads and marketing is literally just a magnifying glass that's going to magnify your offer, your marketing, your sales, and your team. So if you suck now, once you run ads, you're going to suck even more. And you're going to have to stop running ads very soon because they're not going to be profitable. Okay, so with all of that said, ads are going to be super hard. You're going to have to build a really good offer. That's not super easy. You're going to have to build a sales team. That's not easy. You're going to have to invest in yourself. For some people, that's not easy. But if you do all of those things and do them well, you beat 99% of other coaches because most other people are too lazy to do this. And really, you know, B, you will most likely be super successful and make a ton of money with marketing. Okay. So I want to talk about high level, just the funnel we're running now. And I updated this a bit from last week. So basically, I'm running 3 different funnels. Okay. Um, and I'm gonna skip through this one actually. I want to talk about just a couple people that we've helped. Talon, he did 272K in March, and I just want to explain this. These are not typical results, right? No financial result is ever guaranteed with coaching. I'm just showing you some people that we've helped in the past, right? Uh, Tyler had a $7,200 week after literally being stuck at like 4K a month coaching business. Brian, fitness coach, $7,800 day, 23K for the month. That was just 14 days into the month. Now he does anywhere from 50 to 60K per month. Giovanna, 30K a month here on this screenshot. Now she's at like 50 to 60. That's an old one. But yeah, so we've got a lot of testimonials. But yeah, let's dive into this. So I'm running 3 funnels. Okay, so I used to explain them like this, where we've got the Instagram funnel, we've got the school funnel, and then we've got our YouTube funnel, right? But what I realized is these funnels are so intertwined, right, that it's actually just one funnel. Okay. And then I kind of coined this term, which is calling it the scale funnel. And literally, there's potentially even people on this call who maybe you've copied my ads before. That's totally fine. Anytime I launch a new ad within a week or two, I literally see like 15 other people running it. So I'm going to show you why it actually works. Because some people think like, oh, if I just copy the school group funnel, X, Y, and Z will happen. And what's crazy is oftentimes it ends up working for them and they end up making money, which is great. Praise God, that's awesome. But to take things to the next level, and I just for clarity, I've done over 100K a month for about 2 years now. And for most of those months, closer to like 150 to 200 for most of those months, right? So a lot of coaches will experience like a super big month, they'll do 40K, 30K, 20K, whatever. And then next month they're at 15, and then they're back at 30, right? And then they're down to 10, and then they go buy a cool watch, right? Because they had a 45K month, and then they financed a car. And ultimately, flexing your revenue, but you have no profit and you don't have any money in the bank. No wonder you don't want to hire a coach. You only have 15 grand, right? And it's like, guys, like that process sucks. And I was there. Now I have 2 houses. I've got, 2 Rolexes. I've got a beautiful house, family, car, like all the cool things, right? But there's another key here, right? There's a super big important key. The Bible talks about the world of the generous gets larger and larger. That's a Bible verse. And the world of the stingy gets smaller and smaller. So here's a hack for your funnel. If your funnel only exists for you to make money, right, to then put into your pocket for yourself, right, what you have just done is you have made everything in your world about you, and you are just ultimately a selfish, stingy person, and that's okay, right? I'll tell you a better way of doing it because I was there too. A better way of doing it is putting value out into the world, right? And it's like a magnet. Value attracts value. So I'll tell you a couple practical ways that I do it, and maybe you can take them and implement them too. So from everyone that goes through all these funnels, I spend $100 a day, right, on a Bible study funnel where there's never anything sold. People literally just get to hop on a Monday Bible study, and we've had like 400 or 500 people this year get saved. Practically, I give 10% of my income to my church. That's called tithing, right? And I try to be a blessing to people whenever I can. I was just at a business conference, Kingdom conference, and it's called Sowing Seed. I gave money to the ministry that ministered to me when I was there, right? So I try and give money away, right? Not only that, like we do live events and people's lives gets changed, all kinds of other stuff. So if you make your business bigger than just you, it opens the door for favor to come upon it, right? Because you're thinking bigger than just you. Okay, I'm gonna get back to the funnel. There's three things we do top of funnel. We run Instagram follower ads. There's a video on my YouTube channel of exactly how to do this. Okay. I have 51,000 Instagram followers now because I've been doing this for 2 years. Right. Right. Then we retarget our followers, people who have messaged us on Instagram, right, with a lookalike audience, running ads to our school group. We've been doing this roughly 3 or 4 months now, and we have like 5.3 thousand people in our school group. And last month we did 100K cash collected just from our school funnel, right? Then we run YouTube subscriber ads and YouTube ads straight to our VSL, right? I've got like 23,000 YouTube subscribers now. And basically, that's it for the top of funnel. Okay, so Instagram follower ads, school group ads, YouTube subscriber ads. And here's how I break the budget up. Let's say, for instance, I've got 30 grand to spend on ads this month. So 30K, right? I spend 10K here, 10K, here, 10K here. On YouTube, 10K, school, 10K, Instagram, 10K, right? And then the middle of funnel is now that they follow me on Instagram, they're seeing my content, they're getting nurtured. Maybe they come over here and join my school group, or maybe they find my YouTube channel because they followed me on Instagram. See how there's spider webs? Or maybe they joined my school group, right? Then they followed me on Instagram, and then they came over to my YouTube channel. Or maybe they found me from YouTube, binged watch all my content there, followed me on Instagram, and then DM closed because they seen so much of my content, right? Or maybe they saw, a retargeting ad, and then they saw a CTA on my story, and then they had a conversation with us in the DMs, and then they hopped on a sales call, and then they closed, right? It's an ecosystem. So many people are just trying to build funnels, which is cool. Like this is a funnel. This is a funnel. This is a funnel. But when we increased our return on ad spend is when we said, you know what? Let's build a freaking ecosystem where people see me everywhere. And key, like the biggest key here is my funnel doesn't just sell people. Like stop thinking about your funnel that way. My funnel serves people. If someone follows me on Instagram, they're going to see a valuable piece of content where they could make more money, especially if they go into my school group. Let me ask this question. And again, I might fall flat on my face here and no one say yes. How many of you have watched one of my YouTube videos or videos in school and you've made a sale or grew your coaching business by watching my stuff for free? You've never joined my program, but you've gotten results just by watching school YouTube. Put me in the chat if that's you. And there could be no one, but I'm testing my theory here. Me. That's good enough for me to prove a point. Two people have said me. I bet there's more that are maybe driving and listening or just don't want to put me, which is totally cool too. But yeah, I bet I'm willing to bet there's a few more, but that's still proof, right? That the goal of your marketing is to give value away. And so, for instance, if you're a fitness coach, your goal should be, if you ever did a webinar, people get on your webinar and say, dude, I lost 15 pounds last month by watching your YouTube channel. Or, dude, I sold 2 more cars last month by running the ads you posted on your YouTube channel. So if you give away value for free, you'll have 5% of that audience binge watch your stuff take everything you do and never pay you and get results with it, which is awesome. Cool. But 95% of the people won't implement it, and then they'll want to work with you because you help them. And then you'll have people like Adil, one of our clients, who got to 25K per month by watching my YouTube channel and then paid in full in the DMs to join our coaching program, right? So that's a brief high level view of the funnel. The goal is to take people and convert them into clients, right? An ad to get followers, engagers, messages, right? And one important thing I want to talk about is towards the bottom of your funnel. How many of you on this call right now have a VSL, a video that people watch before they get on a sales call with you? Okay. So I'm just going to tell you this is probably the most important, if not the most important asset you can have for your sales team and for your sales process and especially marketing, right? You shouldn't have to be taking calls where you explain your offer every time, how it works, what they're going to get, if selling them on you and your program is the right fit for them. How calls should go is people get on the call and basically you're there to have them sell you, to make sure that you can even help the person you're talking to. And then if you get the green light on like, dude, you're a perfect fit, they're already pre-sold and it's basically an enrollment call so long as they have the money to pay, right? This happens by having a video sales letter, which is a 20 to 30-minute video that people watch before they have a call with you, where they're already pre-sold. They know how the program works, what they get in it, how long it's for. They're going to understand exactly how you can help, see your story, hear your case studies, and literally by the time they want to get on the phone with you, it's like, dude, how do I sign up? Right? Sometimes if you have a good VSL, you could literally just close people with a doc or in the chat. However, I personally like sales calls. That's just me. So one thing I did want to talk about today is KPIs. Okay, so here's how a lot of people run ads. They're like, okay, I'm gonna spend $100 on ads, and then I'm gonna track how many followers I got, right? So let's say you're tracking followers, and then let's say you're getting $5 cost per follow, 20 new followers, and then you're gonna, messages. How many messages did I send out? We sent 20 messages, right? How many book calls, right? Let's say you get zero for $100 to spend, right? So then obviously your sales are zero, your close rate and return on ad spend, is zero. And a lot of people, you would be surprised, they actually track a lot more stuff than this, but I'm going to show you guys how I track. And this is just being completely candid and very authentic with you guys on what I think is important. And it might actually shock you. So the only numbers I personally think you should be tracking is total ad spend, right? So let's say your total ad spend for the month is $1,000, right? The very next thing that I track is total calls. How many calls did we book, right? So let's just say you're a fitness coach, you're getting $100 calls, which is not unheard of at all for a fitness coach, right? So let's say you're getting $100 calls. The next thing you would track is how many showed up. And typically, out of that many, you would have, you know, 8 show up. Okay. So I'm actually going to change this from a money sign to total calls 10, right? Then the next thing I would track is how many closed, right? And let's say 8 out of 10, 8 calls you have, let's say you're an absolute savage on the phone and you close 50%, right? So close. the next thing to track is your closing rate, right? So long as your closing rate is above 30%, right? I would say you're doing pretty good. In this situation, it would be 50%, which we have clients do this all the time where their closing rate is 50%. Then I would track cash collected, right? And let's say you have a 2K offer, right? It's 2 grand. And let's say you're using financing options Affirm or you have an MRR option. But let's just say to keep it simple, every single person either paid with a debit card, credit card, or used financing. And then let's say you collected $8,000, right? You collected 8K. And literally the last number that you need to know is return on ad spend. So right now, based on this, you have an 8x return on ad spend, which is incredible, right? Is everybody tracking with me? So you spent $1,000 on ads, right? You got 10 booked calls because you have a setting process, VSL process, school process. Of the 10 calls, 8 of them actually showed up, right? 2 no-shows, 20% no-show rate. 4 of them paid in full, right? Because you had a great VSL in place and you worked really hard on getting good at sales. And you collected 8K. That's a return on ad spend of 8x. That means every dollar you spend, you literally times it by X, right? And you get 8 grand. That basically means, in simple terms, that you're printing money. So long as you have a good offer, mindset, marketing, sales, team, VSL process, setting process, all the other things, right? So this is how you scale, is what I'm about to show you. So, and how many of you guys are still tracking with me? If you're still with me, put me in the chat. Boom, boom. Okay, cool. So how you scale, right, is you just put zeros on the numbers. Now you're spending 10,000 a month, right? You booked 100 calls, 80 showed up, 40 closed. Say you maintain the same closing rate, right? That's $80,000 cash collected with an 8x return on ad spend, right? So you just literally spend more on ads once you have the process in place. But remember, the offer is what you're promoting. So you have to have a good offer, right? Your sales is how you're closing. So you have to be good at sales. Your marketing is how you get calls and to get them to show up. So you have to be good at marketing. And this isn't even talking about the fulfillment once they do pay you, making sure clients actually get results and then don't, refund to get unhappy and charge back and all these other negative things that can easily happen if you don't do good work, right? So KPIs are super important. I want to talk about the level of spending, right? How many of you guys in this chat are currently running ads? Type the word ads in the chat if you're currently running ads. Okay. How many of you guys are getting clients from ads? Yes. Okay. So I boiled it down to basically like 3 levels of spending. There's like this, and it's kind of unspoken. It's not really fully a framework, but there's like a 0, I would say, to 3K a month, right? I would say 3 to 10 a month, right? And then I would say 10 to 50, just in the clients I've helped. Okay. So what I see, with these is pretty simple. Um, for instance, let's just play bad math, right? Bad return on ad spend, right? How many of you guys see like ads where people are like, you can get a 27x on blah, 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 ROAS, like return on ad spend. I paid someone 30 grand because they told me they were getting a 30x return on ad spend. And maybe they were, but even from the best of the best offers I've ever seen, like I would not believe that one bit. I'm going to show you how really all you need is a 3x return on ad spend. And yes, maybe you do better and you get a 10, but we're going to do the math with worst case scenario numbers, right? Which 3x is pretty much the worst case scenario if you're going to try and scale this. So here's my point. 3x return on ad spend means you spend 3K on ads and you make 9K, right? You're like at level one spending. And some of you guys on this chat right now are like, oh my gosh, that'd be amazing to make 9K in a month, right? However, the problem with the spending level is 9K minus 3K is 6K left over, right? That's not taxes, software, maybe you hired a coach, uh, and other expenses, right? So there basically isn't very much profit left over, right? And there's still some profit. You're like 4K a month profit, whatever it would be. Um, right? So that's level one, right? Let's do level two. So let's say you ramp up and now you're spending 10K on ads. And these are bad numbers, by the way. Oftentimes they're much better, right? So 10K on ads, 30K per month in your coaching business, right? There's 20K. We'll do 30K minus the 10K on ads. So you've got 20K left over, right? Probably like 15, K profit. So this is where you can start to live the American dream, if you will, especially in today's economy where things are super expensive. Like you can't even get a house anymore, and basically if you don't make 15K a month, it seems like most people. So this is where you want to get to level two, right? Almost like a video game. And again, I'm showing you the numbers like with bad math. Like, let me just show you. Like, let's just say we were doing a 6x turn on ad spend, right? The numbers are significantly, better, right? And a lot of people get a 6x, right? So it's not uncommon. So there's that. Let's go to level three spending. Just at a 3x return on ad spend. And again, in order for it to work, you have to have a good offer, all of this other stuff, right? I'm not saying it would be easy by any means. But last month I spent 50K on ads and we did 225, but let's just say you get 150 back. This is where it gets like super profitable, right? So you've got 150K minus 50K on ads. Now you've got 100K left over for taxes, software, coach, expenses, and now you've definitely got a team, right? So you're probably left over with like 50, uh, you know, to 70K profit, maybe more, maybe it's super lean team, maybe 110K profit or 100K profit or 90. But point is whenever you get up here, this is like where you get to the level that a lot of you guys are wanting to be at or here, right? Or maybe it's even here. But just know that the thing that gets you there, at least in the strategy that we teach, is the marketing budget, right? So if you have no ad spend, you won't get a return on ad spend. And then all of these other numbers simply just don't exist because you're doing organic marketing, which is fine. I'm just showing you the levels of spending, right? So how many of you guys have an appointment setter currently? Okay, I'm going to break it down super simply. So let's just talk about Instagram for example. People follow me on Instagram. After they follow me on Instagram, the next thing that happens is they move into a conversation. So how many of you I am an appointment setter? I love it. Right? So essentially, people are having conversations to convert them into a call. Like you've been in coaching programs probably already where people tell you send out messages, send cold DMs, join Facebook groups, message everyone who comments, likes, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Right. And our strategy, literally run an ad, right, to get followers. After they follow you, you have a conversation with them, they book in a call. Before the call, they watch the VSL. Then you actually have the call. Okay. Here's where the bottlenecks happen. You are a human. You can only have so many conversations. You are a human. You can only do so many sales calls. So, what we do is we hire a setter, which is someone who manages your Instagram messages for you. And then you hire a closer, which is someone who takes the Zoom sales calls for you. And then you hire a coach in the future who actually coaches your clients for you because you can only coach so many people or do so many group coaching calls or respond to so many messages. So, a fully built out team is a setter to help you manage the lead flow, a closer to help you sign and enroll people, and a coach to help you get your students great results. Right? So, my ultimate thought on, building winning funnels is pretty simple at the end of the day. Like, are you a good human? Do you care about people? Do you have a good coaching program? Do people get results from it? Right? Do um you feel worthy of getting more money? Do you have like sabotaging beliefs? Do you not charge enough? Right? Close rate bad? Is your return on ad spend bad? Are you speaking to the right niche? So, my secret to a winning funnel is actually this, okay? The magnifying glass that I talked about at the beginning. All a funnel is going to do is magnify, right, what we mapped out in the beginning. It's just literally going to magnify your mindset, your offer, your current marketing, your sales, and the team you have. So, all ads do is amplify your voice, your message, and your processes. So, oftentimes people are looking for a way to magnify what's broken, and it doesn't work. So here's how you know if you're ready to run ads. If you feel like you're 80% of the way there in these areas, if so, like let's launch ads, right? And you'll be successful, most likely, right? Or maybe you're realizing, like, crap, Brandon's saying, you know, a lot about mindset. I need a better mindset. I'm only charging $1,000. I didn't know I could charge five. Or, my marketing is really bad. My sales is really bad. Maybe I need to fix this stuff and then run ads. Like maybe so, right? Um, it's really there. It's a science and it's also a framework, right? So one other thing I want to talk about, to go from level one, right? You've got level one spending, level two, level three. You have to scale your ads. So this is where it gets a little tricky. So when you first start, your funnel looks like this, right? You've got a new follower ad to your setter, to a book call. They watch the VSL. You take the sales call, right? Later on, you get a little more fancy. You get a retarget ad, and you're still running the same follower ad. Your setter's working. You're booking more calls. People are watching the VSL, right? So this is level one spending. You could spend easily 3K a month on this funnel. So let's say you want to go from 3 to 10 or 3 to, let's just say, yeah, let's do 3 to 10, right? So this is probably what 10K a month spending looks like is, having 3 DM ads going, you know, a couple VSL ads. Let's say you've got 3 going, 3 retargeting ads going, and then, X amount of, new follower ads going. Now you're spending 10K a month on this funnel and you're doing 30 to 50K a month. You're like, yo, I want to go farther. I want to go farther. And it's like, okay. Then you literally add in more creative. So what a lot of people do is when they're scaling their ads, they're like, dude, I've got a follower ad that's at, $100 a day, let's say. It's working really good. I should turn it up to 1,000 a day. And it's like, no. The moment you do that, the the ad, I don't know exactly how to explain it, but I've seen it happen time and time again, is there's diminishing returns. You'll literally get the same results from 1,000 in spend sometimes as you were for 100, but now you're paying 900 extra dollars for those results. So what I actually tell people to do is instead of spending 900 more dollars on this ad, simply launch 9 more ads, right, at $100 each, and now you'll be spending 1,000 per month on follower ads, right? Same DM ads, same for VSL ads, same for retargeting. So that's how you scale your ad spend, is horizontally by adding in more creatives, not vertically. And then it's when you're ready to, launch a new funnel, you build one funnel out and maximize it, and then you launch a new funnel, right? You don't launch all of the funnels at the same time. You master one, add on another, scale out the other, and then you launch another. And this is what we teach: Instagram, school, YouTube, right? So really the thing that's going to take you guys from where you're at to the outcome you want to be is attention, but the right attention on the right thing at the right time to the right people with the right sales process and a good fulfillment process. So if you want to get to the outcome, right, that all of you guys obviously want to get to, you've got to master this stuff. And, I've spent a ton of money on coaching, almost $100,000 on mentors, and things like that. And honestly, it has paid me dividends after dividends, and really made, just simply put, a huge impact in my life. So, yeah, I'm curious. How many of you guys in the chat have hired a coach before? If you've hired a coach before, put coach in the chat, right? Dang, all of y'all have hired a coach before. That's crazy. That means, so here's the thing too. Whenever I hired one of my coaches, um, when I had a bad experience, I was like, you know what? Like, this sucks. I just spent $28,000. I didn't learn hardly anything. But what I'll tell you is this: even in the experience when I didn't feel like I got a return on my investment, it forced me to work harder, and I ended up getting a crazy return, which is awesome. So, yeah, guys, how many of you got value from this? Like, it was worth your time. You feel like you got something uh out of this call that you can go take and apply. Sweet. Well, guys, what I wanted to do is I wanted to make something available to you guys. And I would really just encourage you to be an action taker on this, right? There's two types of people. There's the type of people who, are bystanders and kind of, look from afar. And then there's people who take action. And I'm not asking you to take action on anything that's going to cost you anything. I'm just going to ask you guys to take action on booking in a call with us. And here's why I think you should do it. And I'm going to put the link in the chat right now for you to book in a call. But here's why I think you should do it. Because on these calls, let me preface it with this: I don't work with everyone anymore. So if you get on this call and I don't think your mindset is ready, right? Your offer is ready, your marketing is ready, your sales are ready, or your team is ready, I'm just going to be 100% honest with you and be like, yo, unless you're willing to change all this stuff, like, you are not our ideal client, right? But you're going to leave the call with a lot of clarity, right? And then after we point out some of the things, really the whole flow of the call is this. We're just going to ask you, like, hey, where are you at in your coaching business, right? Let's say 5K a month, right? What are you struggling with mentally? Like all these different things. How much do you charge for your offer, right? What are you doing to market it? Probably organic, or you're running some ads that aren't working, or maybe you've got a sales process, that's on Zoom, and you feel like the ads are the problem, but really you're closing 10%, right? And you don't have any team members. All we're gonna do on the call is ask where you're at, right? Chat with you about where you want to get to, and then show you, like, hey, you've got to change your mindset here. You need to charge, more, right? You need to run, this funnel and help you kind of think through it, right? You need to change your sales process. You don't even have a VSL. Like, no wonder the leads, aren't, moving forward. And you're doing all the work yourself. You need to hire a commission only, setter or closer, right? We're just going to help you kind of identify the things where you'll literally be able to leave the call with the roadmap to implement on your own. Or if you're like, yo, I've got money, I don't have time, like we want your help doing this, then we can walk you through what it would even look like to work with us if we can think, we can even help. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to make that available to you. So if you do have some time today, we've got spots. Tomorrow, we've got spots to book in a call. I put the link in the chat. And I'm curious, is anyone on here booking in a call? If you're booking in a call, put me in the chat just so I know who to look for. Me, I see someone. Me, me. Awesome. Sweet, guys. Well, again, I just want to thank you guys for taking time out of your day. I hope this blessed you guys. I hope it added value. And again, I'm going to put the link in the chat one more time if you want to copy that to one of your browsers. And then everyone who's booking in a call, I look forward to chatting with you guys. And yeah, I hope you all have a blessed day. So again, go ahead, copy that link. Maybe click on it. That way it'll open up in a browser. And when you can, go ahead and grab a slot to chat with us. So I hope you all have a blessed weekend, a great rest of your Friday. And I will talk to all of you beautiful humans soon. Okay, guys? All right. Bye, everyone.